Hi there, Geoff. Ben from BU Health Studios. So this is just a quick summary video to break down everything that we talked about in our session today. Firstly, Geoff, I want you to know that the approach that we must take with your nutrition is the simple approach, and that we're not trying to take on too much at once, because the bottom line is your body has been eating the way you have for a good amount of time. For the last, I'd say, 30-40 years, your body's got programming to eat this way, so we can't possibly change things like that, because it'd be the worst thing to do for your body. Your digestion wouldn't know what to do. So firstly, I've gone through all of your information and got a note of everything as far as totals that you need and goals that you need. Now, just to tell you for your own information, but like I said, we don't want to go after these just yet because there'll be too much to go through. But your total calorie intake for the day should be 2,094. This is done based on what's called the Harris-Benedict formula. It is a formula that's been tested over the years on several different age groups of people, and it's pretty accurate. Your calorific intake is more around the 1,800 calorie mark, and sometimes dropping a little as well. So, we've got a little bit of a deficit there. But as I said, we've got to choose our battles. So the number one thing I want you to take from this video is we are going to look to increase your protein in your diet. Reason being is protein is really, really key for healing and developing muscle. If you went to the hospital with really bad burns and they sent you to the burns clinic, they would prescribe you a diet of almost 90% protein to help heal tissue. So obviously this may help with the damage on the top of the head, but also it's going to help you develop up the leg muscles, it's going to help with the memory, it's going to help with all of these things because it's got certain things in there like collagen, healthy saturated fats and all of these things. So our goal right now, to summarise, is to increase protein. Now what I've got in front of me is just a very brief breakdown of how we're going to make some clever little change to your diet based on the couple of days that you gave me. The book that you've got as far as the Paleo Primer is a very, very good way of increasing protein. So have a look in there and you'll come up with some clever ideas. So for example, one of the first things that I want you to do is keep having your prunes in the morning. They are a really good source of nutrients. They've got full of fibre, so it's going to help with our body being a fat burning machine. Secondly, your porridge. We can do some very sneaky things with your porridge to help you increase your protein. I'd like you to only be having porridge twice a week, okay? So I'll add this to your notes so you've got it, but porridge is only going to happen twice a week. And in that porridge, I'd like you to start adding things like chia seeds, any other seeds that you've got around the house. And I'd also like you to start to add an egg to your porridge when you're making it. So crack an egg in there and then just make sure you stir it thoroughly. You won't notice a difference at all, but by adding an egg to your porridge, we are getting a hell of a lot more protein in there, and I promise you won't taste the difference as long as you're cooking it thoroughly. The next side of things, on those other days where you aren't having porridge, you said you liked having your scrambled eggs in the morning, so that's definitely an option. And another thing that I'd like you to have a look at is an omelette as well. Having an omelette in the morning instead of scrambled eggs is, just as simple, and I don't need you to go all kind of Jamie Oliver on it. All I mean is beat some eggs up into a pan, and at the same time add some mushrooms in there and maybe add some spinach. You can fold it over, and if you're feeling really, really extravagant, I would like you to also add some goat's cheese to it. Reason goat's cheese only over any other cheese is goat's cheese is one of the lower lactose cheese, so it's not going to upset anybody's tummy if you've got a slight dairy intolerance, but also it's one of the healthiest types of cheese out there. Make sure when you're buying all this stuff that you get the best stuff from where you are, really. Based on where you live, I'm guessing you either shop at Waitrose or Sainsbury's. Both of their higher brands of goat's cheese is the best way to go. Also, with your coffees, a clever little trick that you can start to do, actually with tea and coffee, but I've never tried it with tea, is adding a very, very small teaspoon of coconut oil. Now, coconut oil is a very, very healthy saturated fat, but by adding that into your hot drinks that you're having regularly each day, so if you have that in 2 of your hot drinks in your day, you're adding some healthier fat into your diet, and again, it's going to help your body learn by eating healthy fat to burn healthy fat. You'll be glad to hear this next one. I would like you to be eating more of your steaks, but mainly I would like you to be having more fish and more white meat into your diet. The reason I like those is these come with the lowest level of fat. So if I'm asking you to increase this meat intake, I'm not putting too much fat into your system, but they're also full of all the healthy fats that we need. And then just finally, here's an interesting challenge that I'd like to leave you and Olwyn. I will pass this on to Olwyn. But in your books, there is some very, very cool recipes. One of the best ones are all the snacks in the back. Now, I've seen that you really like a biscuit, and I know Olwyn really, really likes a biscuit. So I would like you guys to make a batch that is more than 5 of one of the, it's the chestnut cookies. Now, I'd like you to try to make some of them and keep them in your biscuit tin, and instead of having your normal biscuits, just have those ones instead. And I appreciate you're not going to make your homemade cookies all the time, but if every now and again you're doing it, it will make a huge, huge difference. If you have any questions, Geoff, please give me a call. This is just a breakdown of what we're going to do. As I said, I've got it all in my notes and we will discuss it in our next session. In the meantime, keep practicing your breathing, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Ben from BU Health Studios, signing out.